Here, the numbers indicate the electron number in the shells with increasing order of energy, because as we go to the outer shell, the energy of that shell also increases. Therefore, the electrons present in the outer shell have more energy as compared to the electrons present in the inner shell. For example, the electronic configuration of sodium is 2, 8, 1. So here, the first shell, that is the K shell, will have 2 electrons, and the next 8 electrons are placed in the L shell, and the last electrons is placed in the M shell. It means that the total 11 electrons in sodium are distributed as 2 in the K shell, 8 in the shell L, and 1 in shell M. The electronic configuration of an atom can also be represented by shell diagrams, as shown in the following figure that we will study soon. So here we know that how to find out how much electrons can be placed in a particular shell. So for that you need to use the formula 2n square, where n is the number of the shell. So K would have a number of 1, L would have a number of 2, etc. And that's how we find out the total number of electrons that can be put in that shell. Now let's study about valency and the electronic configuration. We have seen in the last chapter that valency means the number of chemical bonds formed by an atom. So this is a very important term that is used a lot in chemistry, in which valency means that how many chemical bonds can be formed by that atom with other atoms in its surrounding. We also saw that generally the valency of an element remains constant in its compounds. So no matter what compound the atom is in, and no matter which other element that it is combining with, the valency will always remain the constant. So in this figure, they have shown to us the electronic configuration represented in a shell diagram format, where hydrogen is shown to have 1 electron in the K shell, and helium is shown to have 2 electrons in its K shell. Carbon is shown to have 2 electrons in the K shell and 4 electrons in the L shell. Neon has 2 electrons in the K shell and 7 electrons in the L shell. Sodium has 2 electrons in the K shell, 8 electrons in the L shell, and 1 electron in the M shell. So this is another way how we can find the electronic configuration of the elements. Can you recall? Use the following molecular formulae to determine the valencies of hydrogen, chlorine, oxygen, etc. So here they have given us a few molecular formulas and they are asking us to find the valency. Valency is usually determined by the number of electrons in the outermost shell. So for example, hydrogen is shown here as H2. So that means one hydrogen has a bond with another hydrogen. So one hydrogen at a time can only bind with another atom and form only one bond. Therefore, the valency of hydrogen is 1. Similarly, here they have shown HCl. This is hydrochloric acid. Here it has one hydrogen that has a bond with one chlorine atom. So this tells us that the valency of hydrogen is 1 and also the valency of chlorine is also 1. The next example is H2O. H2O is nothing but water. So here hydrogen, we know that it has one valency. So therefore it has a bond with the oxygen molecule, and that oxygen molecule has a bond with another hydrogen atom, because they are telling us that there are 2 hydrogen atoms. Therefore here we find out that hydrogen has one valency but oxygen has 2 valencies, because it can form a bond with 2 atoms. Similarly, the next one is H2S. And here instead of oxygen there would be an S, that is sulfur. The next example is NH3, which is ammonia, and that is N, which is nitrogen, and that N has 3 bonds which it forms with 1 hydrogen respectively. So therefore the valency for nitrogen is 3. And hydrogen, we already know that the valency is 1. Similarly, if you see CH4, that is methane, has 4 hydrogen atoms. Therefore, the carbon has a valency of 4 because one carbon atom is able to bind to 4 hydrogen atoms. HBr is hydrogen bound to bromine, and here there is just one bromine and just one hydrogen. So that tells us that the valency for bromine is also 1, same as the valency for hydrogen. Similarly, Hi is hydrogen with one iodine molecule, and here also iodine has a valency of 1. Sodium and one hydrogen. So sodium is binding to just one hydrogen, and therefore sodium also has a valency of 1. And if you see here, there is just one electron in the outermost shell. So if we have the electronic configuration, we can easily find out the valency of that atom. Use your brain power. So here are following some questions that are asking us of topics that we've already learned about. So let's see if we remember them. What are the symbols used for the shells which accommodate the electrons in various atoms? So as we learned earlier, they are asking us what are the names of the shells. So the first shell, that is the innermost shell, is termed as K shell. The one after that is L shell. Following that is the M shell. After that is the N shell, and so on and so forth. What is the symbol and the ordinal number of the innermost shell? So the innermost shell is the K shell and it has an ordinal number of 1. Write symbol of electron distribution in the shell of the fluorine atom. So if you recall, fluorine has 9 electrons in total. Therefore, the first 2 electrons will be put in the first shell, that is the K shell, and when you subtract 2 from 9, you would get 7. So, the remaining 7 electrons would go in the L shell. So, this is the electronic configuration for fluorine. Which is the outermost shell of fluorine atom? So, the first 2 electrons would be in the K shell, and the next 7 electrons would be in the L shell. So L is the outermost shell of fluorine. Which is the outermost shell for sodium atom? So we just seen the electronic configuration in the shell format in the previous diagram. So if you remember, sodium has 11 electrons in its atom. So the first 2 electrons would be put in the K shell. Then the next 8 electrons would be put in the L shell. And 2 plus 8 is 10, and when you subtract 10 from 11, you get 1. So the final electron will be put in the M shell. So the outermost shell for sodium would be the M shell. Which is the outermost shell of the hydrogen atom? So hydrogen has just 1 electron in its atom, and therefore that would be put in the K shell. So that is the only and the outermost shell of hydrogen. If you want the detailed explanations to all these questions, please go to www.jkacademypro.com. The concepts regarding valency of an element, chemical bonds in compounds get clarified from the electronic configuration. So if you want to find the valency and you have the electronic configuration, you can easily find the valency of that element. Atoms form chemical bonds by using electrons from its outermost shell. So it is very important to know how many electrons are present in the outermost shell. So that is how you will come to know how many chemical bonds can be formed by that atom. Valency of an atom is determined by the configuration of its outermost shell. Therefore, the outermost shell is called the valence shell. The outermost shell of that atom is also called as valence shell because the number of electrons present in the outermost shell will give us the valency of that atom. Also, the electrons in the outermost shell are called valence electrons. It can be seen that the valency of an atom is related to the number of valence electrons in that atom. Let us first look at the elements helium and neon. Atoms of both these gaseous elements do not combine with any other atom. These elements are chemically inert. So, elements that have no electrons in the outermost shell do not combine with any other atom, and therefore they are called as inert because they do not combine with another atom. And examples of such are helium and neon, and these are two elements which are gases in their natural form. It means that their valency is 0. So because they do not combine with another atom, it tells us that the valency of these atoms are 0. Helium atom contains 2 electrons which are accommodated in the first shell, that is the K shell. So helium has 2 electrons only and they both fit in the first shell, that is the K shell. Helium has only one K shell that contains electrons and the same is also the outermost shell. So because it has just one K shell, this K shell is also the outermost shell. The electron capacity 2n square of K shell is 2 because here K is the first shell, therefore n will be 1. So 2 into 1 square will be 2. So therefore the maximum capacity of K shell is 2 electrons. This indicates that the outermost shell of helium is completely filled. Because helium has only one K shell and it has 2 electrons, both the electrons fit in the K shell and the K shell is completely full. It is said that helium has an electron duplet. Duplet means 2, therefore electrons are 2. The electronic configuration of the inert gas neon contains 2 shell K and L. So neon is another gas and it has 2 shells K and L. L is the valence shell of neon. Valence shell is the outermost shell and here L is the valence shell. The electron capacity of L shell is 8 because now we have to do 2 into 2 square, which would be 8. So here also neon has an L shell which contains all the 8 electrons. Therefore the valence shell also is completely filled. It is said that neon has an electron octet. Octet is when there are 8 electrons in the shell. Therefore it is called as electron octet. Argon, which is another inert gas, has electrons in the shells K, L and M. Now argon has more electrons, therefore even M is filled. The electron capacity of M shell is 2 into 3 square, which will give us 18. However, in argon there are only 8 electrons in the valence shell. So the M shell will contain only 8 electrons because K and L shell will take the 10 electrons and the remaining 8 electrons will go in the M shell. But M shell has a capacity of 18. Therefore, it is not filled. Therefore, this argon will have the M shell which is not completely filled. It means that there are 8 electrons in the valence shell of inert gases. That is an electron octet. So because there are 8 electrons, it is again called as electron octet. From this it is understood that the valency is 0 when electron octet or duplet is completed. So whenever there is an electron octet or duplet, the valency will become 0 because the electrons have to be either 8 or 2. The electron configuration of elements other than inert gases, that is apart from argon, neon, etc., show that they do not have electron octets or their electron octet are incomplete. That is, they would have less than 8 electrons in their outermost shell. Regarding hydrogen, it can be said that its electron duplet is incomplete because hydrogen has just one electron and therefore it is not able to form a duplet which should have contained 2 electrons. Therefore, hydrogen has an incomplete outermost shell. For the answers to this exercise and other free worksheets, please go to jkacademypro.com. This was the end of part 5. For the part 6 video, please click on the link in the description box below.